coming off of a ridiculously vicious knockout in UFC 250 over Gerald Meesgrant. We have Ian Heinisch.
What's going on, Ian?
Good.
There we go.
There we go. We almost lost you there. How you doing, man? How you feeling? I know you had eye surgery about a week and a half ago. How you feeling?
So I'm doing great, man. I actually didn't get the eye surgery done. I just had my pupils dilated, and I was supposed to get the surgery done, and the cornea, I guess, wasn't shaped it wasn't healed enough from 18 years of wearing contacts. So that's scheduled for next Friday. But I'm good. I had a good Fourth. I spent time with family. We were in Nebraska at my wife's ranch. I'm back in town. I'm going to start boxing again on Monday and getting back into it.
Ian, the last knockout you had with Gerald was insane, and I mean, you're known as you're a two-time All-American in wrestling, correct?
Correct.
So, is it like a new love now to just throw these bombs at people and to just end things a lot quicker compared to just taking it to the ground and going for something that you've always had this history of?
Yeah, absolutely. I've had my taste of knockouts on the regional circuit, and there's nothing like a knockout. It just ends the fight quick. You don't get super exerted. The rush, the crowd goes wild. Everything about it I love. But I started to try to just be a striker, and that's where I kind of messed up, and I feel like that kind of messed me up in my last few fights. Instead of using my wrestling to actually set up those big power hands, 'cause I have tons of power in my hands, and, but if I get the guy thinking about wrestling, he's going to drop his hands when I hit that level change, and that opens up that big right hand, which got me the knockout.
As you guys know, we're talking to UFC fighter Ian Heinisch. Now, Ian, we have talked, we've texted, and I see what you are as a fighter. You're 14-3 as an MMA fighter, professional fighter. You're ranked 13th right now in the middleweight division. Where do you see yourself now after having that unbelievable knockout? Who's up next? Who do you want to fight next? Do you have a particular fighter, or you want to fight whoever's in front of you?
Yeah. Coming off those two tough losses, I climbed the ranks really quick. I got thrown in the Lions. That basically every single person I fought in the UFC is ranked, except my last fighter, Gerald, and he has a super long pedigree. He's had 20 fights in the UFC. He's a vet. He has second submissions in the UFC. But just getting that confidence back and just kind of falling into my own and getting more comfortable in that UFC cage. Now I feel I'm ready to continue to climb the rankings. So I was supposed to fight Brendan Allen before I injured my knee, but that was kind of a money fight. That was kind of a quick decision just because of COVID. There wasn't many American fighters ready to fight, so I was going to take that fight with him. I figured it'd be a quick paycheck. I know he's a tough kid, but I just don't feel like he's near my level. There's a big difference between ranked UFC fighters and just guys who've had a few fights in the UFC. And but now I have my eyes set on someone like Uriah Hall or just anyone ranked. I just want to continue to climb the ladder. The goal is to be a world champion. To be a world champion, I just got to keep climbing the rankings. So I hope to fight someone who's ranked next and an exciting fight. So that's my options.
Ian, as you said, you've just not just in the UFC, but even leading into the UFC, you've always gone against these heavily, touted contenders. Even when it was Contender Series, going against Justin Sumter, who was a highly touted prospect that you went right through. Now, as you said, the Brendan Allen was more or less for a quick turnaround because it seems like with this COVID thing, there's a lot of this quick turnaround stuff going on where you see fighters coming in and flipping after probably 3 weeks or not even a month, which is a very quick turnaround. I think everybody knows, especially when it comes to fighting in the UFC. But I mean, even now, while you're recovering, has there been any talks about possibly, instead of this quick fighter, just turnaround thing, have you spoken to anybody in the UFC about possibly getting that next higher level contender for the next fight?
Actually at the moment, we just got to see how things play out. Like, there's a lot of big fights coming up. We got Brunson fighting Shabazi. We got Yoel Romero fighting Kevin Gastelum, I believe. No, he's fighting. Yeah, is it Kevin Gastelum?
Yeah, they're fighting Gastelum. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, there's a ton of big fights coming up. So the middleweight division is going to be shifting and moving. It's just all about opportunity, man. If someone falls out and you're ready to go, that's a great opportunity to step in. That would be ideal. Someone, a high-profile fight, like Jack Manson or someone like that, and maybe his opponent falls out a week before, and I'm ready to step in. Obviously, I gotta continue to rehab my knee. I gotta get back into shape, and I believe within a month to maybe 6 weeks, I'll be, at that point where I could take a quick turner. I could take a short notice fight, and so there's nothing really. There's no names right now per se. It's just we're just standing by watching the middleweight division, the top 15, and just seeing how things unfold. And it's just getting me ready as soon as we can, so I'll be ready for an opportunity on a short notice fight.
As you guys know, we are talking to UFC fighter Ian Heinisch. Now, Ian, I've looked at all different fighters. They fight in all different weight classes, and you're a strong fighter in the 185 division. When you look at your strength and your ability and really cutting weight, do you see yourself maybe cutting weight and being a 170, fighting a welterweight division where you can dominate with your power and the ability that you have as a wrestler? Do you see yourself maybe moving down the weight because you'll have a better chance of getting a title shot?
No, not at all. I've always, cut weight my entire life, and I always found I did better when I wrestled up a weight. And I guess like you could call me a smaller middleweight per se, is I'm not as tall as these guys, but that's where my power comes from. I'm stocky. I'm a little bit shorter. I'm 6 foot. But I'm built, and the weight cut at 185, I'm still cutting close to 20 pounds. So to even think about going down, another 15, I would just lose so much muscle, so much, muscle that I've worked so hard to get, and it would just hurt me so much, man, that I would never consider it. I've never really felt like any guys like ragdolled me or were even really much stronger. I mean, Omari Akhmedov was probably the strongest guy I faced in there, but in the third round, I was throwing him around. So, he wore out. So there was really nobody that I felt like, man, these guys are too big for me. So I like to be a little bit shorter because it's easier to get under guys, and it makes it easier to fake level changes and throw that right hand up top, which got me the knockout my last fight. So I would never probably go down to 170, and if it's not broke, you don't fix it. So I think I'm going to stay right at 185 for a while.
Did it irk you? And I know the Usman Masvidal fight and Burns had to drop because of the COVID-19. Did it irk you that Masvidal all of a sudden moved all the way up from I think he was ranked fourth, yeah, moved all the way up to fight Masvidal? Fight Usman. And did anybody reach out to you if after Burns dropped out to ask you if you wanted to fill in for Burns?
No. I mean, honestly, they're only going to ask. I mean, this is the biggest fight card, ever. Really, it's one of the biggest fight cards. And as I am ranked number 13, but I still am not that big draw that they're looking for. I still got to build a name for myself. I'm very young in the UFC, and I'm getting to that point. But they're looking for a top 5 fighter, and they're looking for someone who's fighting at 70 or possibly even 55, because they know an 85er walks around 200 pounds. So for me to be able to drop in a week 35 pounds-ish is way too much. So they're looking at only 170-pounders and possibly even 55ers, just because, those guys would be more apt to be able to make weight. And, hats off to Masvidal for staying in shape, staying close to weight, and he just made weight this morning, and I'm so excited to watch these fights tomorrow.